Okay, thank you so much. We have a special guest here with us today. His name is, you want to say his name? I don't know his name. Otherwise, I would have said his name.
Benny.
Benny. All right, cool. Okay, so today we're going to continue in Job. We're doing 38 and 39. Alex is going to read 38. Yes.
He's a Sasquatch, not a Yeti. Andrew.
He's a Sasquatch, not a Yeti. Okay. All right. So Alex is going to do 38. Andrew's going to do part of 39. I'll wrap up 39. We'll get into some commentary as always. However, before we do, I want to read another prayer from the Valley of Vision, which is a collection of Puritan prayers and devotions. Yesterday, Alex was kind enough to read the Trinity, which was really good. Today, we're going to do God the All. O God, whose will conquers all, there is no comfort in anything apart from enjoying thee and being engaged in thy service. Thou art all in all, and all enjoyments are what to me thou makest them, and no more. Please don't do that. I am well pleased with thy will, whatever it is or should be in all respects. And if thou bidst me decide for myself in any affair, I would choose to refer all to thee. For thou art infinitely wise, and cannot do amiss, as I am in danger of doing. I rejoice to think that all things are at thy disposal, and it delights me to leave them here. Then prayer turns wholly into praise, and all I can do is to adore and bless thee. What shall I give thee for all thy benefits? I am in a strait betwixt two, between, knowing not what to do. I long to make some return, but have nothing to offer, and can only rejoice that thou doest all, that none in heaven or on earth shares thy honor. I can of myself do nothing to glorify thy blessed name, but I can through grace cheerfully surrender soul and body to thee. I know that thou art the author and finisher of faith, that the whole work of redemption is thine alone, that every good work is or thought found in me is the effect of thy power and grace, that thy sole motive in working in me to will and to do is for thy good pleasure. O God, it is amazing that men can talk so much about man's creaturely power and goodness, when if thou didst not hold us back every moment, we should be devils incarnate. This by bitter experience thou hast taught me concerning myself. That's good. God holds us back, indeed. Man, those Puritans were some holy dudes. Okay, Alex, are you ready to read chapter 38? Let me have a quick look here real quick before you get into it. So I'm going to read the footnote first, okay? It's real short. This actually spans 38:1 through 42. We're not going to get into 40 today. God appeared and engaged in his first interrogation of Job, who had raised some accusations against him. God had his day in court with Job. This is good. So this is, Alex, you have a big responsibility today. This is the Lord's voice speaking to Job through what's called the whirlwind, through the storm, okay? So turn to chapter 38 and go for it.
38. The Lord answers Job. And then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Who is this that darkness counsel by the words without knowledge? Dress for action like a man. I will question you, and you make it known to me. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me, if you have understanding, who is determined its measurement? Surely you know, or who stretched the line upon it? Who or on what were its basics sunk, or who laid its cornerstone?
Mm-hmm.
When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy.
Let me stop you right there for just a second. I want to stop you right there on chapter 7. Sorry, 38:7. I want to read this footnote real quick. Morning stars. So these morning stars, sons of God, this is the angelic realm, God's ministering spirits. And these ministering spirits in angelic realm, they witnessed the creation of the earth. So that's what God's talking about. He's challenging Job. Were you around when I created the earth? You weren't, but the sons of God and the morning stars, my ministering spirits in angelic realm, were. So you may continue with verse 8.
Or who shut in the sea with doors when it burst out from the
Womb.
womb? When I made clouds its garment and thick darkness its swaddling band, and prescribed limits for it, and set bars and doors, and said, "Thus is it thus? Thus far shall you come, and no farther. And here shall your proud waves be stayed. Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the skirts of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it? It is changed like the clay under the seal, it and its features stand out like a garment. From the wicked their light is withheld, and their uplifted arm is broken. Have you entered into the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been revealed to you? Or have you seen the gates of the deep darkness? Have you comprehend the expanse of earth? Declare if you know all this. Where is the way to the dwelling of light, and where is the place of darkness? And that you may take it to its territory, and that you may discern the paths to its home. You know, for you were born then, and the great number of your day is great. Have you entered the storehouses of the snow, or have you seen the storehouse of the hail, which I have reserved for all this time of trouble, for the day of battle and war? What is the way to the place where the light is distributed, or where the east wind is scattered upon the earth? Who has cleft a channel for their torrents of rain, and a way for the thunderbolt to bring rain on a land where no man is, on the desert which there is no man, to satisfy the waste and desolate land, and to make the ground sprout with grass? Has the rain a father, or who has begotten the drops of dew? From whose womb did the ice come forth? And who has given birth to the frost of heaven? And the waters be hard like stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Can you bind the chains of Pleiades, or lose the cords of Orion? Can you lead forth the Mazaroth in the season? Or can you guide the bear with its children? Do you know the ordinances of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? Can you lift up the voice to the clouds, that a flood of waters may cover you? Can you send forth lightnings that they may go, and say to you, "Here we are"? Who has put wisdom in the inward parts, or given understanding to the mind? Who can number the clouds by wisdom, or who can tilt the waterskins of the heavens? When the dust runs into a mass, and the claws stick fast together, can you hunt the prey of the lion, or satisfy the appetite of the young lions? When they crouch in their dens, or lie in wait in their thicket?
Bushes.
Who provides for the raven its prey when its young ones cry to God for help and wander about for lack of food?
Good job, buddy. That was not a short one, was it? I think Andrew might have a question. What is it, bud? Just tell me when you're going to stop, okay? It doesn't matter. Hold on, don't start yet. All right. Hey, good job. That was a lot. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. All right. So what did we just do? 38. Okay, so 38. Okay, we read that. 38:3. I will question you. This is some commentary. God silenced Job's presumption in constantly wanting to ask the questions of God by becoming Job's questioner. It must be noted that God never told Job about the reason for his pain, about the conflict between himself and Satan, which was the reason for Job's suffering. He never gave Job any explanation at all about the circumstances of his trouble. He did one thing in all that, in all he said. He asked Job if he was eternal, great, powerful, wise, and perfect as God. If not, Job would have been better off to be quiet and trust him. All right. Let's see. And then we did that. No, I didn't. And then in reference to 38:4, God asked Job if he participated in creation as God did. This was a crushing, humbling query. You know what a query is? No. You know what a query is? Questioning, like an inquiry, like you're questioning somebody with an obvious no answer, right? He knew Job wasn't around during creation. Pretty much, yeah. And then 38:14, clay under the sea. Documents written on clay tablets were signed using personal engraved seals, which upon which was written the bearer's name. The Hebrew for changed, the word changed, is the word turned. It conveys the idea that the earth is turned or rotated like a cylindrical seal rolled over the soft clay. You guys. What? Such rolling cylinder seals were found in Babylon. This speaks of the earth rotating on its axis, an amazing statement that only God could reveal in ancient days. The dawn rolls across the earth as it rotates. That's pretty cool, right? And then 36, wisdom, understanding. This is at the heart of the real issue. The wisdom of God that created and sustains the universe is at work in Job's suffering. Okay, and then let's go to the evidence Bible for a sec. 38:16. Don't do that, please. That makes a lot of noise. 38:16. This is in reference to the springs of the sea. Modern deep sea diving cameras have discovered amazing hot water vents on the floor of the oceans. These thermal vents release huge amounts of mineral-rich, superheated water springs in the darkness, according to a gentleman by the name of Richard Gunther. And then Stephen A. Austin, PhD, said, these are 4 points in the matter of the Old Testament that the Old Testament affirms. First, the Old Testament asserts positively that springs do exist in the ocean, Job 38:16. The source of this knowledge claims omniscience and is allowing that omniscience to be tested by scientific investigation of the ocean floor. Second, the undersea springs are said to have been established at the earth's creation, Psalm 33:6 and 7. Third, the flood of Noah is claimed to have been caused, at least in part, by an unusual activity of ocean floor springs, Genesis 7:11. Finally, springs are mentioned that we can marvel at the wisdom and power of God, Proverbs 8:22 and 28. All right, and then now we're going to get into 39 All right, now Andrew's going to do chapter 39, or at least part of it. Just let me know when you're done, okay, bud? Go ahead.
Chapter 39. Do you know when the mountain goats give birth? Do you observe the calving? Do you
Calving.
observe the calving of the does?
Those
Does?
are baby deer, right?
Heck.
Birthing.
Okay.
No, but those are babies. They are being born.
Can you number the months that they fulfill? And do you know when do you know the time when they give birth? When they crouch, bring forth their offspring, and deliver of their young? Their young ones become strong. They grow up in the open. They go out and do not return to them. Who has let the wild donkey go free? Who has loosed? Is it loosed?
Loosed.
Who has loosed the bonds of the swift donkey? To whom I have given the arid plain for his home, and the salt land for his dwelling place. He scorns the tumult of the city. He hears not the shouts of the driver. He ranges the mountains as his pasture. I guess I'm done.
All right. Bless you, Andrew. God bless you. Okay, continuing in 39, verse 8. He ranges the mountains as his pasture, and he searches after every green thing. Is the wild ox willing to serve you? Will he spend the night at your manger? Can you bind him in the furrow with ropes? Or will he harrow the valleys after you? Will you depend on him because his strength is great? And will you leave him your labor? Do you have faith in him that he will return your grain and gather it to your threshing floor? The wings of the ostrich wave proudly. But are they the onions and plumage of love? But are they the pinions and plumage of love? I said onions. Oh, that's classic. Look. At first glance, it looks like onions, right? Pinions.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know what pinions means. Okay, and plumage of love. For she leaves her eggs to the earth and lets them be warmed on the ground, forgetting that a foot may crush them and the wild beast may trample them. She deals cruelly with her young as if they were not hers. Though her labor be in vain, yet she has no fear, because God had made her forget wisdom and given her no share in understanding. When she rouses herself to flee, she laughs at the horse and his rider. Isn't that wild? So we think the ostrich is kind of dumb, right? Because it leaves its eggs to be alone, right? Most birds like sit on their eggs until they're born to keep them safe and keep them warm, and the ostrich just scrams. But it says right there, God made her, the ostrich, forget wisdom and given her no share in understanding, so she doesn't feel bad about it at all. Do you give the horse his might? Do you clothe his neck with a mane? Verse 20. Do you make him leap like the locust? His majestic snorting is terrifying. He paws in the valley and exults in his strength. He goes out to meet the weapons. He laughs at fear and is not dismayed. He does not turn back from the sword. Upon him rattle the quiver, the flashing spear, and the javelin. With fierceness and rage, he swallows the ground. He cannot stand still at the sound of the trumpet. 25. When the trumpet sounds, he says, Aha! He smells the battle from afar, the thunder of the captains and the shouting. Is it by your understanding that the hawk soars and spreads his wings toward the south? Is it at your command that the eagle mounts up and makes his nest on high? On the rock he dwells and makes his home, on the rocky crag and stronghold. From there he spies out the prey. His eyes behold it from far away. His young ones suck up blood, and where the slain are, there is he. Nice. All right, so now for any commentary, I just have a couple spots in the Evidence Bible. So 39, 1 and 2. Outside of the creative hand of God, there is no logical explanation for the instincts of the animal kingdom. To credit evolution with the marvels of creation is to pay homage to a non-existent idol. Non-existent what?
Idol.
Idol. An idol is what? What's an idol?
Something you worship.
Yeah, basically something you worship, something you put before
God.
Which commandment is thou shalt have no other gods before me? Sit down.
The third, second.
Which commandment is thou shalt have no other gods before me?
9.
The second one.
You sure?
First one.
Okay. You sure? Okay. You sure?
Second one.
No, it's the first one, dude.
Yes.
All right.
I got it right.
Yeah, you both did.
Wait, Andrew gets one too?
Yeah.
Wait, that's not fair.
Why is that not fair?
Because he finished like 2 seconds. I had to answer.
And then in reference to 39:19 through 25, a broken spirit. So this is about the horse. God made the horse like no other animal. It is clothed with a courageous thunder, an incredibly brave spirit, an amazing energy that can be harnessed by man and taken into the very heat of battle, afraid. God does not sin. After David sinned with Bathsheba, he cried, "The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. These, O God, you will not despise." Psalm 51:17. To understand what is meant by a broken spirit, think of a wild horse. Always beautiful, it is useless to a man while it's wild. So man takes that wild animal and, quote unquote, breaks its spirit. He does not take away its beauty or its character. He just harnesses its incredible energy so he can turn the animal any way he wishes. James spoke of this. Indeed, we put bits in horses' mouths so that they may obey us, and we turn their whole body. A bit is the thing that the horse holds in its mouth, and then they have the reins, the ropes, so they can, if they yank left, it pulls the horse's head to the left, and that's the rider is telling the horse to turn to the left or turn to the right. Or if you pull both, the rider is telling the horse to stop. This.
But why can't it fall out?
Well, it's tied around its head too. This is what God wants from you and me. He wants to break our wild, rebellious spirit so he can take us into the heat of battle and trust us to turn any way he wishes. Okay. I believe we are. Tomorrow we're going to get into 40. Hold on a second. Wait, let me see the paper. Oh my gosh. Let me see the paper. No, what were we supposed to do today?
38, 39.
And then tomorrow is what?
40 and 42.
Okay, tomorrow we do 40 through 42. Thank you very much for watching this. If you guys are wondering what this whiteboard is next to us, we're mixing in some trivia for the boys. So it wasn't real obvious when we were doing it today. We'll try and make it a little more obvious, but Alex got one, Andrew got one, and TBD on what this is going to go towards. I think the boys think they know what this is going to go towards, but we're going to try and figure it out as we go on. So anyway, all right, thanks so much. Hey, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share it if you like it, ring that notification bell. Thanks so much.